I'm Marcus, 32 years old. Just a regular guy. I work as a mechanic. I love grilled cheese sandwiches and horror movies. Until recently, I was engaged to a woman named Candace, 34. She has bright red hair and a smile that could probably get away with murder. Not saying she did, but if anyone could charm a jury, it was her. Candace had 3 kids from a previous relationship. 2 boys, Max and Eli, and a little girl named Jordan. When I met them, they were 7, 5, and 3. Now they're 12, 10, and 8. I was in their lives for 5 years. That's 5 years of school drop-offs, birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese, where I swear the mouse is a demon, late-night fevers, and pretending to be the Tooth Fairy. Eli once caught me and said, "You owe me $10 for emotional trauma." I didn't just love those kids. I raised them. Their real dad, Kevin, yep, that's his real name, walked out when Jordan was a baby. No contact, no child support, nothing. Just a ghost with a bad haircut and a Facebook full of gym selfies and motivational quotes about being a real man. The irony is wild. Candace and I were good. Or at least, I thought we were. Sure, we had arguments sometimes. Who doesn't? I loved her. I was planning our wedding. The venue was booked. My mom had her dress, and I even agreed to line dance at the reception. That's love. Then one night, Candace sat me down and said, "We need to talk." Now, I know what you're thinking. Those 4 words have ended more relationships than forgetting anniversaries, or telling someone to calm down during an argument. I joke when I'm nervous, so I said, "You better not be pregnant. That would really confuse science." She didn't laugh. She told me she had been seeing someone for the past 4 months. She said she didn't plan it, but feelings developed. Then she said the name. Kevin. I actually thought she was joking. Like, was this some kind of dark sitcom prank? Kevin. The guy who disappeared for 5 years and still can't spell their right in any sentence? Nope. Not a joke. She said they reconnected for the kids' sake and things just happened. You know, like falling down the stairs or accidentally backing into your neighbor's mailbox. Except this wasn't an accident. It was a full-on betrayal, complete with bonus child support. She cried. I didn't. I just sat there, stunned. It felt like my whole life got sucker-punched by a man in cargo shorts and Axe body spray. Then she dropped the real bomb. I hope we can still co-parent. You're their dad in every way that matters. I blinked. You mean while you moving with Kevin? You want me to still be what? A bonus dad? Weekend stepdad? Emergency babysitter? She nodded like it was the most normal, reasonable thing to ask. They miss you, but I had to let go. Marcus, they love you. Your family, she said. I looked at her. Candace, I'm not going to be the unpaid emotional support guy while you go play Happy Family with Kevin 2.0. She looked shocked, like I was the bad guy for not sticking around after she tossed me out like last week's leftovers. That night, I packed my things. I told the kids I had to leave for a while. I couldn't even look Jordan in the eyes without tearing up. For weeks, I was a wreck. My apartment looked like a bachelor cave designed by depression. Pizza boxes, tissues, sad movies everywhere. I binge-watched Grey's Anatomy and cried more than I care to admit. Judge me. I dare you. Then the messages started coming in from Candace. They miss you. Jordan won't eat her broccoli without you. Max cried last night and asked why you hate them. And then, from Kevin of all people, step up, man. You were part of their lives. Be a man. Be a man. Be a man. This, from the same guy who dipped when his daughter was still in diapers and hadn't wiped a butt since Obama was president. Yeah, no, I blocked them both. I took time for myself. I started therapy. I picked up jogging, even though my knees sounded like microwave popcorn every time I ran. Slowly, quietly, I started to heal. Then, 6 months later, guess who came knocking? Candace. Her hair was a mess, eyes puffy. She held Jordan's little hand. Kevin left again, she said. He said he wasn't ready. The kids need you. I looked down at Jordan, then back at Candace. And for a second, just 1 second, I wanted to say yes. But I didn't. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not their dad. And you made sure of that. Candace cried. Jordan looked confused, like I was a villain in her bedtime story. But I closed the door, because sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes doing the right thing means walking away. And sometimes not being the daddy anymore is how you finally become the man you were always meant to be. I didn't sleep that night, not because I regretted it, but because my heart ached. Have you ever loved something so much it physically hurts to let it go? That's what it felt like ripping Velcro off your soul. Those kids weren't just her kids. They were my kids. I taught Max how to throw a football. I built a dollhouse for Jordan one Christmas and got so many splinters I looked like I fought a porcupine. I stayed up all night with Eli when he had the flu and puked on my Xbox. I love them. I still do. But Candace didn't just cheat on me. She chose someone else to be their father. And when that blew up, she expected me to just slide back and like nothing happened. Like I was a pair of backup shoes waiting in the closet. No thanks. I don't do secondhand love. I talked to my therapist the next day, told her everything. I was angry, not because Candace came back, but because I had let myself hope, even for a second, that made me feel weak. But my therapist said something I'll never forget. You can love them and still walk away. That's not weakness. That's maturity. So that's what I did. I didn't reply to Candace's texts. I didn't call the kids. But I wrote them letters. Each one sealed and saved. Maybe I'll give them to them one day when they're older, old enough to understand. I told them how proud I was, how much I loved them, that none of it was their fault. And then I let go. It wasn't easy. The silence after so much chaos is deafening. But in that silence, I found myself again. I got back into working on cars. Started volunteering at a local after-school program. Funny thing, turns out there are a lot of kids out there who need a positive male role model. And this time, I do it on my terms. A couple years later, I was grabbing coffee one Saturday when I saw Max. Taller, lankier, headphones on, hoodie up. He saw me. He froze. Then he ran over. Not this time, and that's okay. I'm not going to lie. I teared up. Max looked like he'd aged 5 years since I last saw him. He hugged me so tight, I thought my ribs might crack. I never stopped missing you, he said. We sat and talked. I told him how proud I was of him. I asked about school, about life. He told me Kevin had left again, for good, this time. Candace had been struggling, and the kids were doing their best to hold it together. Then he asked, "Why didn't you come back?" I looked him in the eyes and said, "Because I wasn't welcome back until everything was broken, and you deserve people who choose you first, not when it's convenient." He didn't argue. He just nodded. He understood. "You were the only real dad I ever had," he said. That night, I cried again. But this time, it wasn't grief. It was closure. Now, I'm in a better place. I'm dating someone new. Her name's Tasha. She's got a loud laugh and a cat that hates me. But she brings peace into my life. No drama. No hidden exes. No games. She knows about my past. And you know what she said? "I'm glad you chose yourself. Because now I get to love the whole you, scars and all." So if you're reading this and you're hurting, if someone betrayed you, if you're stuck between letting go and holding on, just know this. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to stop setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is close the door and keep it closed. A few weeks after I saw Max, Candace texted me again. "The kids keep asking about you. Maybe you could stop by, just for dinner." I stared at the message. Part of me wanted to say yes, for the kids, for the memories, but I didn't. I wrote back, "I'll always care about them, but I'm not your backup plan. I'm not the filler between your messes. They deserve better, and so do I." She never replied, and that was okay, because sometimes love isn't enough to stay, but self-respect, that's enough to leave. So I left, and this time I never looked back.